I wonder if you've ever experienced this where you're starting to date someone and it's very much in the initial stages of using applications, or maybe you know the person and this is day one and communication is starting. But all of a sudden things take a bit of a twist and this person starts sexualizing the conversation. They do this not in a very respectful and tactful manner, but instead put something across that can actually just be described as, this is just yuck. I've been experiencing more and more and more women coming out with examples of this, and this questions one's dating etiquette. What is dating etiquette to you? You would think that these are the norms that one would expect from dating another human being, being a very baseline set of values which are founded on the idea of respect. For me, the whole idea of dating is that you have this beautiful opportunity of entering into the lived experience of this person that you knew nothing about prior to meeting them. There is a real inevitability here that we have to name, and that's if we are adults, and thankfully, hopefully you are dating another adult, is that there is the expectation and knowledge that there will be sex on the cards. So there really isn't any reason why you have to be sexualizing the conversation immediately. This doesn't have to happen in many dates. But it's really a question of where are you placing your intentionality. If you are the kind of person that is just looking for a one-night stand and you're looking for sex and that is all that you're looking for, part of this process is you being brutally honest about this. It's putting it out there and being authentic and owning that space and saying, this is what I'm looking for from an encounter, a relationship. And it's then allowing the other person the opportunity to step in and decide whether that is something that they're wanting. To dupe a person into believing that you're wanting a relationship and then suddenly sexualizing the conversation to what I would describe as quite a vulgar stance. I have absolutely nothing wrong with sexualizing a conversation. I think it is incredibly important. Dirty talk, all these wonderful things in the kinky space, that is essential. But there is a question of timing and place. All the feedback that I receive is that when this is projected onto the person, all it does is create an ick-based situation. It literally becomes repulsive, and there is no remedy from that. Once the person has reached that point of disgust, it is going to open up a whole new dilemma for the situation. It is very difficult to recover from something like that. If per se we have misread the situation and the person gives us that feedback, which on a side note I think is very important. When we receive these things, it's important to give feedback. Timing shouldn't be in question here. It's as and when the situation presents itself, you say what you feel. If we make the error where timing is not right or the pacing has been misread, you have really one opportunity of recovering from that situation. Own it. Apologize for the situation. Explain that you misread it and that wasn't your intention, and fundamentally you're wanting to know more about this person. But ultimately, sexuality is so present. So I think that also forms part of the situation in naming that. But this is based on respect. I harp on about this over and over and over with every single person that I work with. If you are in these situations and you are bold enough to bring in an RDBSMA conversation, check the link in my bio, go to my website. There is a downloadable PDF that I've created to explain exactly this concept. You will get a better understanding of knowing how to put across your desires, your boundaries, the meaning attached to that. And also what's important in this process is the aftercare that's necessary. This is something that we have to use at every stage of the dating process. Even to the point that you could be in a relationship with someone for a very, very long time and you're still bringing in this kind of conversation. Our desires are always changing. Our needs are always changing. Our boundaries are something that are always changing. It is not something that is fixed. The meaning that we attach to these things equally is also changing, and our aftercare changes as well. Please be mindful of how you present yourself in the dating space. The core focus of something like that is that you are getting to know this person, and this person fundamentally is going to be the person that you want to journey through life with. Sex will come, intimacy will come, but how many opportunities do you have to really get to understand and know this person? It is a beautiful process. It is something that we should not shy away from, and we should really meet the person with open arms and an open heart. But if you are the kind of person that is listening to this that often does sexualize the conversation, really rethink your tact, rethink your strategy, because I don't imagine that this is something that is really being very helpful for you, because you are only going to be perceived as a person that is thinking with their sacred space. And the problem is that I couldn't even apply that phrase to it, because you are not seeing the sacredness and the divine in the experience. You're just seeing it as an act of gratification. You're going to be perceived as someone that just wants sex, and there is no longevity in something like that unless you have been brutally honest from the beginning and authentic, and having done so in a charming manner, not in a manner that is vulgar. Ay con Dios.